How is Bettendorf, Iowa not a location in like the Lord of the Rings or World of Warcraft? Or Bettendorf is like the king. Bettendorf. King Bettendorf! He rules with kindness in his heart! Davenport's obviously a seaside, a great financial capital. It's kind of like in Game of Thrones, the people that have like all the banks and shit that fund armies and things like that. Yeah. And then you've got Moline.
The Misty Marshes of Moline, because you've got to have alliteration. You've got to go through the Misty Marshes of Moline to get the ore in Coal Valley.
Even the Quad Cities. That sounds like a fantasy place. The Quad Cities, 4 mighty nations brought together under one roof.
Happy Joes are the band of marauders. We're the gang known as the Happy Joes.
But they wear these clown masks with faces, but they're actually, like you said, they're marauders. They come by, they're like, oh no, the Happy Joes! And they're like, wielding hatchets in each hand. The Happy Joe marauders could live in the misty marshes of Moline. You know, they could be one of the many dangers that exist. Driven mad by the mists. And the only joy they get is by carving the flesh of their fellow kin. What are we creating right now?
I don't know, but I am into it. The perilous crags of Rock Island.
Ooh, nice.
Right?
Rock Island's where you go. That could be like a prison colony. It's kind of like the Australia of this world, where it's like they drop them off to the prison and they're like, fend for yourselves. And it's got big spiders that live under the rocks.
You got to implement John Deere somehow, because John Deere is based in the Quad Cities.
That's like a leader whose like crest is a stag.
He's from a noble family, but something happened and he's trying to reclaim. He was a nobleman that lost his place at the high table.
And the deers still have an impact, but he has somehow disgraced himself. And there's just like a lot of trains just go in and out of it. And there's a race that happens every year, and it's like really tough because there's big hills. You know, there's a lot of hills, but people come to race it. You know, so it's a test. It's a feat of strength.
The running of the Bix.
Yes, the Bix, which is like a trickster, a jester. If you can catch the Bix, you earn the favor of the king. Bettendorf, the king. To get the favor of Bettendorf, the king, you must catch the Bix. How does this work so well? Oh my God. How could I forget? There's the arsenal. They will back the king, but they are their own independent force. They don't just, like, the king doesn't control them, but, you know, they kind of work independently. They're on in their own little island. And you rely on them for safety, but they're also, at the same time, they're independent, you know? So that could play a big factor in the story. You know, and the arsenal's like, we'll back you, but we expect some concessions. You gotta watch out for the Blackhawks. They are the scouts. So they say they're mythical. Some people say that they're humans that can transform into hawks. No one really knows for sure. Did we just read a fantasy novel?
I'm so excited. Yes. Oh my God. You have no idea.
A lot of people don't know this. Tolkien based Lord of the Rings on the Quad Cities.